This is Linda Ferguson and...
It's Whitey. I laughed at Chuck.
and this is Encore Life, which is a podcast on how to live the encore part of your life in the best condition possible. So before we jump into today's topic...
Now for the first part and then come back.
That's right.
And then we come back.
Bruce and I are partners at Secure Financial Services in Largo, Florida. And so our day-to-day has to do with helping others live their best financial lives. And along the way, we see what others experience. Hence, this podcast. Because Bruce especially has some great stories and some really pertinent information that has been helpful in helping our clients, and it can help you too. So with that in mind, here is the latest installment of our podcast.
I need to give you an encore win. So a couple encore wins. Like, hey, guess what I did?
Okay, give me some encore wins, Bruce. What are some?
I lost 18 pounds in the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
I decided I'm handling this like I'm getting big, and got on the right diet. And I'm eating, meat and vegetables only. I'm not snacking in between, and that belly got down. So I feel more energy. I'm not getting midday sleepies anymore. I run like all day. So
wow.
That was my. Yeah, you have any encore? You have any aging encore? Getting her done wins lately?
Always. Yes, I do. But I just have to say, you definitely are looking more svelte is the word. Svelte. Yeah. And so the fact that you are doing that is impressing me to no end. Mine. So I just returned from a cross-country trip with my family. So my encore win part of it is both Bruce and I actually have crafted a lifestyle that allows us to help others, but include some travel in there. And the end result of that is...
We need to do a whole episode on that.
On traveling? Yeah.
Work-life balance at our age.
Yeah. What's that line about better to blah, blah, blah than to rust?
Oh, yeah, well, better to burn out than to rust. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I'm not burning out, but definitely enjoying life tremendously while still helping others, which is a passion of both of us. We love to help others. And in helping others, we, of course, help ourselves and we help the environment. Because people that are more secure in their future are happier, and they add to who they are and where they are. Okay, Bruce, so you have some great stories to share and some information that I know you were researching that is pertinent to this today. I'm going to turn it over to you.
But you know what? Our next episode we need to talk about work-life, like work-life balance. Like I'm 68. I'm not going to quit working. I'm not trying to stop working and sit around. I love my work, so I'll be working till I'm at least 75. But it's that balance. Like I still go have a lot of fun, and I still, So we need to do a whole next episode on that. But I do have something to talk about today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So share, Bruce.
So you and I were just talking about the confidence, how much confidence people have in retirement, and I get to see this so much with people coming in the office. And I'll tell you what I intuitively noticed, and then I did homework today because actually for my other stuff I'm doing with Straight Talk Wealth and in the advisory, I put together a slideshow about it. And I only took a few of the slides. This is like an hour presentation I'm doing, but I'm only bringing a couple of them here. What I noticed was that I get people that have been investors or white collar people, and they're retiring with millions. And they may or may not have a certain level of confidence about I'm here. I've arrived. I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to live so many years in my life. And then every once in a while, I get some blue collar worker. And I'm thinking specifically of a trash collector, a career garbage man who loves his retirement. He is so confident and so comfortable, and he's got properties in Idaho, and he's like so happy all the time. I'm like, dude, I don't think you have much money. He has some, but he's just way less worries than some of these wealthy people. So I kind of had an intuition about what was driving that, but I wanted to do a little, I got on ChatGPT, which is my favorite tool, of course, these days. And I just did some research of like, is what I'm seeing true? I found a good couple sources, and I want to share with you the slides that I put together about this. Interested?
I'm interested for sure.
Good. All right. So first of all, there is a definite level of desperation amongst baby boomers to be able to retire well. There's a significant portion of baby boomers who are unprepared for retirement. Between 2024 and 2030, between those years, a year ago and the end of this decade, 30.4 million Americans will turn 65. All right. Alarmingly, over half of these individuals have $250,000 or less in assets, making them heavily reliant on the unreliable Social Security benefits. The financial inadequacy suggests that many may struggle to maintain their pre-retirement lifestyle. Think about that. 30 million, half of 30 million are going to hit 65 with like 250,000 one couple decades ago was nice. Now it's at best 2 years of income. How do you do that? What are they thinking? Moreover, the data indicates that 70% of baby boomers who have yet to retire are at risk of not being able to sustain their pre-retirement standard of living. So I dug up the Vanguard article on this called More Boomers Are Prepared for Retirement, But Gaps Persist. I'm going to just look at this article really quick because you see the data on it. I've got it highlighted. And Linda, can we put that on a link so wherever people are watching this, they'll be able to just pull this article up?
Yes, I'll include it in the show notes. So just click below this video and you'll find the link to this article.
Great. Okay, here it is on my Google Drive. And real quick, I don't want to bog down reading this. More boomers are prepared for retirement, but gaps persist. For many baby boomers, recent market gains have helped narrow the retirement savings gap. Yeah, we've had some nice markets. However, a gap still exists, and tapping home equity can be a way to shrink the gap further. So this article is about I know the market's been good, but if you own your house, you better plan on tapping it. It was quite a shocker article to read. Improvement in retirement readiness is encouraging, but it's not enough, says this girl from Vanguard. Baby boomers will need to make careful planning decisions in addition to adjustments in lifestyle. As a result, all right, let's just show you some charts here. I want to just cut through the chase. So what they're saying here is they did 3 studies, 2023, 24, no, 2 studies, 23 and 24. And they said, what percentile of people will be prepared for retirement? First of all, only if you're in the top 95% of boomers will you actually have a savings surplus. And you would have, and I guess these are according to their years, but in the 2023, they would have had a 20% surplus. In 2024 study, 29% surplus. And if they use their home equity, which is what this article is talking about, then only the top 95% will have a 39% surplus for retirement. So think about how many boomers are retiring. The top 95% are more than set. You get down to the 70th percentile, and they're going to have a deficit of 17% and 12% if they don't use their home equity, something like that. So just, you can read the article. I don't want to get long-winded, but, look at 50% of our cohort. 50%, if they use their home equity, and they've used their gains, because 2023 was the deficit, smaller deficit in 24. If they use the deficit in 24 and their home equity, then they're still going to have a 12% shortage for retirement, 50%. And the ones that are below that, worse. So let's put this article up. But it was some good research, and it just validated there at Vanguard that a lot of our cohorts are not prepared. Now, in a minute, I'm going to talk about the wealthy too, because there's definitely a situation when I did the homework on these slides for the wealthy as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. But let's go back to the slides. All right, going back to the slides. So here's the deal. Why there are a cohort of boomers that are confident. And this is from a study that was done at the MetLife Mature Market Institute about a decade ago, maybe a little more, but I think it still holds very, very true, called Best Case Strategies for a Flexible Retirement. So let's think about this survey for a minute that they did. They asked, if you are confident, we want to know what are your top reasons for being confident. 3% were miscellaneous. 26% were confident in their retirement because they could go back to work if they need to. Now, that sounds weird. I'm really confident I can retire because I can go back to work. Isn't that kind of weird?
No. I mean, it's confident that you're retiring and then you're saying, yes, I could still work.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But the statement of it almost sounds like an oxymoron. I'm confident I can retire because I could still go back to work. You know, it's like, I'm confident I can retire right now, and if I have to ditch, I'll ditch and go back to work. 35% said that they had assets they could liquidate. So that's typically going to be a vacation home, something that's illiquid, but they own it. It's part of their net worth. And they feel they could liquidate that and add to their net worth so they could continue to pay bills and have, because you got to have income. Okay. So the other ones just said they had sufficient savings. So maybe they don't have a house or properties or things to liquidate, but they had enough saved up that they could maybe pull from their savings. But what do you think? This is very interesting. I want to talk about who does this too, because in a minute I'm going to talk about who has this. What do you think the number one reason that seniors that said they were confident in retirement had that confidence? Well, I guess we're leaving a blank hole for the listener to fall into. Do you have anything? Right. What do you think people would say, Linda? What you know the answer because we've been working on this, but I wonder what people would think.
I do know the answer, but I'm going to shrug my shoulders because why do people feel confident? They have enough in savings, that's confidence. They can liquidate their assets, that's confidence. But I don't see the number one reason sitting on the screen, at least.
Their children are really rich. No.
Hey.
No, what it is that they had some sort of guaranteed stream of income. Now, that's different than liquidating your houses. And it's different from spending down your savings. It's some kind of income that comes in on a regular basis. 68% of people who are confident said that's why. So I looked at this further because I got clients. No, but here's the thing about spending with confidence. Think about this. Grandma wants to go to a trip to Europe. Grandma wants to travel. So what can she spend? Well, maybe grandma's just 66 and she doesn't know how long she's going to live. And she doesn't know how long those savings are going to last. So can she spend $10,000 on the trip? Can she spend $20,000? Can she go nuts and spend $50,000? How's she supposed to know if she doesn't have confidence about what her future is going to be? So I find with my clients, there are two types of people that spend with confidence, although very different styles, very, very different styles. The first one is they have a big wad of money. It's called managed income. And they look at the markets and they see what the markets are going to do. And if the markets are up, they take more money. And if the markets are down, they tighten their belt. That's kind of the I can liquidate assets, or I have sufficient savings per people. They have a big wad of money and they're just managing their income year to year. The problem is they don't know how long they're going to live. So the only answer they have, and by the way, this gets into the problem of the wealthy, which is my final slide, but the only answer they have is just try to not let my money slip through my fingers. I guess my smartest thing is try to make sure I have $2 million left the day that I die, because I don't know how long it's going to last. They're just managing and they're taking what money they can. This is the other side of people, and it's very interesting, and it's a very different character. It's these people that get mailbox money. They have some sort of guaranteed income or a pension. So who would that be? It's these kind of guys. So I got to tell you something. I've had several cops, people that work for corporations that have pensions coming in. Now, underneath it, they might be concerned of whether the pension's going to meet its obligations. But the bigger they are, I guess the harder they fall if they're a government worker. Or in California, California has I think it's the second largest pension in the world, if not the largest. Those people have some reason to be confident the checks are going to keep coming. I have seen these kind of people do the stupidest things with their money. I've met several cops that invested in businesses that blew up and they lost everything in the business. You think they care?
Do they?
You know why they do that?
Hmm.
Because there's a check coming in next month
Hmm.
and it's paying the bills. They don't care if they lose all their money. They don't care as long as they have their lifestyle set up that matches that check coming in every month. And I have literally seen this. Now, think about it. Who do you think is happier in retirement? Who do you
The
think
cop.
who do you think can plan their life better when they know that check's never going to stop? It just keeps coming in. And who can take chances with their money? So this is a very interesting split, and it goes, now this is my observation. I made this slide because I've seen the two types, but it goes back to this MetLife study of like, why would 68% of people say they're confident in retirement? Wouldn't we think that this wealthy guy is more confident than the cop? But I've seen it, and they're not. The cop just is reckless, but that check just keeps coming. So when we work with our clients, this is like what the first conversation we go to is income management. How do you manage income? And we do cash flow studies to figure out how are we going to secure income? Not how, did you hit 1 million? What's the magic number? 1 million? 2? There isn't a magic number. The only number is how big of a check do you need coming in every month to pay your bills, and what kind of inflation are we expecting, and how long are you going to live? That's the thing you have to determine at retirement. So there's a couple just other slides that get into it. The closer you get to financial independence, the more vital questions about your purpose in life become, whether you're ready or not. This is just a mindset that changes upon retirement. So when we talk about purpose, you got to understand that the time to be asking your question about your purpose and what you want retirement to do for you, what kind of life you want in retirement, what do you want to be fulfilled in retirement? You should be asking that and conceptualizing that at least 10 years before your retirement. Now, asset management, asset accumulation management has the primary purpose to simply build wealth. All there is to asset accumulation is put more money away, earn something on it. Put more money away, try not to lose, but if you do, then put more money away. It's very simple math. But retirement income management, that has the goal of utilizing your wealth to fulfill your purposes in life. So here you are saving, but do you realize that when you retire, the purpose of your planning is how do you spend your money, not how do you save it? And it's very different math. But when you get close to retirement, you shift from how to save money and how to put it away to what's your plan for spending your money. And if you don't, then you'll be one of these guys that are sitting there with managed money, and all you know is, I better make sure there's $2 or $3 million left that never goes away because I don't know how long I'm going to last. And your kids will love you and it's great. But if you want to leave money to kids, buy some stinking life insurance. It's much more pennies on the dollar than it is trying to live and tighten your own belt because you don't want to worry about hitting bottom. If you could be like the cop and spend all your money and just know you're not going to hit bottom, the income's going to come in. That's the type of retirement income management that we're talking
So,
about.
Bruce,
Yeah.
I have something to talk about.
Tell me.
Retirement plan is a perfect slide for it. And that is, of course, I've seen you working with people to take a very close look at the assets that they have, how they have things structured now. And then you spin out different scenarios for them to look at. If you do this, then you have that. If you do nothing, here's where you're going to run out of money in your life, which is shocking for, I would say, 80% of the people that come in that actually go through the retirement roadmap interview process or, meeting with you, take a look at everything they've accumulated.
It's always an epiphany, whether they're clients or not, or whether they want to stay with their own advisor, just to get a study done is an epiphany.
Because the software that Bruce uses is excellent at showing. What's that?
Good cue, my software. There you go.
There you go. So what are we looking at here?
Well, all this really is this shows how much money you're going to need every year in retirement. So, and if you're hitting a shortfall, when will it happen? And this just then identifies what sources are you going to pull your income from. And in this one, here's Social Security, here's some guaranteed income sources, here they're spending out of some principal, and then here they hit a shortfall. And then this chart just shows what your lump sum savings is going to look like as you eventually, if you didn't plan well, you'll peak and then you'll run out, and what year you're going to be out of money. So, and we can tweak this and do all kinds of variations and watch it change right in front of your eyes. So this is the first thing. I don't even recommend anything. People go, what's good right now? What should I do, Bruce? I go, till I do one of these studies, I don't have a clue what to recommend for you. But the studies.
And you also get their goals, right? What do they want to achieve in retirement? Where are they planning to spend their money after they stop working or while they're working, but they're not aggressively accumulating wealth? Well, and I've just found people walk out of just this with more confidence. You're talking about confidence.
Because here's what happens. Once you understand what somebody wants in their retirement, I've had some of these studies where I went, that's what you want? You could have had that 5 years ago. What are you doing? We could have. And then I've had people walk in and I'm like, oh, here's the good news. The good news is you have just enough to retire with. The bad news is you have just enough to retire with. And I hope nothing goes sideways. And then the bad news sometimes that people say, we're going to do this and this and that. And I'll do a study and go, I'm sorry, you're dreaming. So it's always an added certainty. But again, it's all about starting with the study.
It is. All right. So remember, our goal is to help people that are baby boomers or the brackets surrounding that age group retire with confidence, know how to live a happier life because, we're holding some money. I mean, and that includes both Bruce and I, too. We are in this category, right? We're walking the talk. And Bruce especially, who he really has made some market moves recently because of changes in the market and taking advantage of some things that are really good for the life that he is living and that he will continue to live.
And I'm going to skip this slide. People can see it. There's just one last slide I do want to share real quick, Linda, if I may. One last research thing that came up. So when I was looking at all this is another point that came up. The relevance of guaranteed income streams for wealthier boomers. So you would think the guy who's really wealthy doesn't need that mailbox check. He's just dirty wealthy. But this is an interesting point that came up from Market Watch. And we can post this article too. even among wealthier boomers, and this is from their article, the concern about outliving one's assets is prevalent. They're still worried about it. The traditional 4% withdrawal rule, which says you can pull 4% of your portfolio out every month, every year, and it'll be sustainable, it's being reconsidered, with some experts now suggesting 3.7% withdrawal rate to ensure your funds last throughout retirement. Now, let me tell you, 3.7 is an improvement, because when interest rates were really low before the recent times, they were saying don't take more than 2% of your portfolio, which is obscene. You have $1 million, you can't spend more than $20,000 a year out of it. Now that includes inflating that and gearing it towards inflation and other stuff. But so we're back up to 3.7 now, but that adjustment reflects the need for more conservative financial strategies, even for those with substantial savings. We will attach that article as well. But all of this starts with just getting the study done.
Good. And so, hey, we want to hear from you. Whether you feel confident in your retirement already, whether you're living your best life, and you feel like you don't have anything else you need to do to move into that, or if you have some attention on or would like to know more about what your retirement looks like with this awesome snapshot that Bruce will do, or you can talk to me. I function more in the area of, we have a team of experts that we work with. And so I help identify, talk to Bruce, talk to someone in estate planning, tax planning, whatever it is. Our goal.
Looking through on our estate plans too. I mean, we always sort of, hey, Linda, it's extra work that I can't get to, but you're very good at sitting down with someone patiently getting all the questions. Right. We can get their estate documents.
I am constantly. So we're not attorneys, so we don't actually do an estate plan, but we work with an estate planning group that will create an estate plan that fits well with your financial goals for the future.
Trusts and wills and stuff.
And yeah, and it is a fraction of the cost of working with an attorney. And if it's, fairly simple, if you don't have a whole lot of things that you need to do with your estate, we're a perfect fit for that. 1, we really care. And 2, we do a great job. And 3, we... I don't know this side or that side, that's us. Perfect. Anyway, so give us a call. We would love to talk to you. And if you have suggestions for future episodes that you'd like to hear, see more incriminating photos of Bruce in his youth. I'm good at that, or even current ones, actually. That's right. We would love to hear from you. And so with that...
I just want to name a couple so we've got it on tape.
Sure.
I want to talk about, we sometimes want to explore, like, you don't have enough. What country are you going to that can still live a good life? I'd love to explore some of that.
Okay.
What were the other things we were talking about at the start? We'll do more lifestyle stuff. That's really what we want to do on the next one. I'm going to let you do the homework on the next episode.
We're going to talk about dating and relationships and those financial entanglements or assets, depending on how that goes. And again,
if you want me to flip you my diet coach, let me know. He'll be really happy about it.
He has a great diet coach. Yes, he definitely does. All right, everyone. So we will see you again soon. Until then, keep living your best Encore life. Bye.